The ring hit the kitchen tile with a sound like a gunshot, spinning silver until it wobbled and died against the baseboard. I stared at it, then at her, my wife of 8 years, the woman whose laugh used to make the whole house feel lighter. Her chest rose and fell too fast, eyes glassy with something between fury and terror. "I miss being single," she said, voice cracking like thin ice. "I miss not having to explain where I've been or who I've talked to. I miss—" She stopped, swallowing whatever came next, and the silence swallowed us both. I couldn't move. My hand still hung in the air where I'd reached for her, the ghost of a hug I'd planned to give when I walked in from work. The lasagna I'd carried home in a foil pan sat cooling on the counter, its steam long gone. I smelled garlic and betrayal. "Mia," I managed, the name tasting wrong now. "What are you saying?" She pressed her palms to the countertop, knuckles white. "I'm saying I need space, David. I'm saying I've been pretending for months and I can't anymore." The word pretending lodged in my throat like a fishbone. I bent slow and picked up the ring. It was warm from her finger. I turned it over in my palm, the tiny diamonds catching the overhead light like accusations. 8 years ago she cried when I slid it on her, mascara running, whispering forever like it was a spell. "Space," I repeated. "Is that what you call the hotel receipts in your purse?" Her head snapped up. Color drained from her face so fast I thought she might faint. "You went through my things?" "I was looking for your migraine pills." My voice sounded foreign, flat, mechanical. "Found those instead. The Langham. 3 nights last month. Same weekend you told me you were at your sister's." She opened her mouth, closed it. The kitchen clock ticked loud enough to bruise. Somewhere outside, a dog barked and stopped. "I can explain," she whispered. "Explain what?" I stepped closer, the ring cutting into my palm. "That you've been sleeping with someone else while I'm paying the mortgage and folding your laundry, and pretending I don't notice you flinch when I touch you?" Tears welled, spilled. "It wasn't supposed to happen. It just did." "Who is he?" She shook her head, hair sticking to wet cheeks. "It doesn't matter." "It matters to me." My voice cracked on the last word. I hated how small it sounded. Mia wiped her face with the sleeve of the hoodie she'd stolen from me years ago. "His name is Ryan. He works with me. It started at the holiday party. Too much wine. I thought it would be one time. Then it wasn't." "Ryan." I pictured a faceless man in a suit, laughing at jokes I'd never hear. I pictured her choosing him over movie nights and Sunday pancakes, and the way I still kissed her shoulder when she pretended to sleep. "How long?" I asked. "4 months. 4 months." I counted backward. Our anniversary dinner, the weekend in Napa, the night she came home late and said traffic had been murder. All of it poisoned. I slipped the ring into my pocket. The weight of it felt obscene. "Get out. David." I said get out. The words scraped raw. "Take whatever you need for tonight. I'll have the rest packed by morning." She reached for me, fingers brushing my wrist. I jerked away like she'd burned me. The hurt in her eyes almost undid me, but I held on to the image of hotel keycards and lies. She left without another word. The door closed soft like she was afraid to wake someone. I stood in the kitchen until the lasagna congealed into a brick, until the house settled into a silence I'd never noticed before. Sleep didn't come. I sat on the couch with the ring on the coffee table, turning it under the lamp like evidence. At 2:17 a.m., I opened her laptop. She'd forgotten to log out of everything. Emails, photos, a folder labeled R. Inside, selfies of them in bed, her head on his bare chest, his hand possessive on her hip. My stomach lurched. I closed the lid before I threw up. Morning tasted like metal. Called in sick, then called my lawyer. Sarah Chun had handled our wills, our house closing. She picked up on the second ring. "David? Everything okay?" "No," I told her everything, voice shaking. She listened without interrupting, the way good lawyers do. "I can file emergency papers today," she said. "Separate your finances, freeze joint accounts. If she fights, we countersue for infidelity. California's no fault, but judges still hate wasting time. Do it." Mia came back at noon, eyes puffy, carrying a duffel. She stopped when she saw the boxes labeled with her name in black Sharpie. "You're really doing this," she said. "You did this." She dropped the bag. "I made a mistake. People make mistakes. Not like this." I gestured at the boxes. For months isn't a mistake, Mia. It's a choice. Repeatedly. She sank onto the bottom stair, head in her hands. I was suffocating. You were always so steady. Reliable. I felt like I was disappearing. The words hit harder than the ring had. Steady. Reliable. I thought those were compliments. I thought that's what you wanted, I said quietly. I thought so too. She looked up, mascara smudged again. Ryan made me feel young. Reckless. Alive. And now I'm scared. Her voice broke. I threw away everything for what? He ghosted me this morning. Said his wife found out. I laughed, a sound like breaking glass. So you're here because Plan B fell through? No, she stood, took a step. I'm here because I woke up in that hotel and realized I left my home. My husband. The man who knows I hate crusts on sandwiches and sings off-key in the shower and still looks at me like I hung the moon. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But the photos burned behind my eyes. My phone buzzed. Sarah. Papers are ready. She'll be served within the hour. Mia's phone rang at the same moment. She stared at the screen, unknown number. Then at me, panic blooming. That's him. I asked. No. She answered, voice trembling. Hello. I watched her face crumple as Sarah's calm, professional voice spelled out divorce, asset division, spousal support calculations. Mia slid down the wall until she sat on the floor. Phone pressed to her ear like it might bite. When she hung up, she looked smaller than I'd ever seen her. You're really ending us. You ended us the first time you lied. She started to cry, not the pretty kind but ugly shoulder-shaking sobs. Part of me wanted to hold her. The rest of me remembered the hotel receipts. I'll give you the house, I said. I'll take the car and half the savings. You keep your 401k. Sarah's emailing the terms. Mia wiped her face. What happens to us? There is no us. The words tasted like ash, but I said them anyway. There's you. There's me. And there's 8 years we can't get back. She stood on shaky legs. I don't want the house. Too bad. It's yours. I picked up her duffel, set it by the door. Keys are on the hook. Lock up when you leave. I walked out before she could answer. The November air bit my face sharp and clean. Behind me I heard her call my name once, twice, then stop. The door closed. A car engine turned over. Tires crunched gravel. I stood in the driveway until her taillights disappeared. The ring still heavy in my pocket. I thought about throwing it into the storm drain but didn't. Instead I slipped it onto my pinky. Too small, cutting off circulation. And went inside to start packing my own boxes. The house smelled like garlic and goodbye. I opened windows, let the cold in. Somewhere down the street, a couple argued about garbage night. Normal life continuing without us. I sat at the kitchen table where we'd planned vacations and argued over paint swatches, and cried for the first time since she left. Not for her, for the version of us that had believed forever was enforceable. For the man who'd thought love was enough. My phone buzzed again. Sarah. Papers signed. You're free. Free. The word felt like a foreign language. I took the ring off, set it in the center of the table next to the cold lasagna. Then I started a new document on my laptop. Blank page, cursor blinking. I typed a single line. Day 1 without her. I stared at it until the screen dimmed, then brightened again. Outside, the first snow of the season began to fall, soft and merciless, covering everything in a clean, unforgiving white.